Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe back, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for July 26, 2020. Oh, it was another long work week. I have to say, these weeks seem to get longer and longer as the summer goes on. It's just a lot getting done, or need to get done, and it was just a lot of work. I didn't read, I read quite a bit, but I didn't read quite as much during the week, or I made decisions during the week that maybe affected my reading, but I'm in that point where I have some books that I'm partially in that I'm deciding that I might just return them to, like, two of these were library books that I'm just returning to the library. I think I might give them one more shot, but I keep trying and I go, it's not the time for these books. And they're not books that I don't want to read. It really is just not the time. So I will talk about those as well near the end. I do want to just say, I bought this at a GameStop yesterday. I had I got the pro rewards or whatever when I got my Switch, my Nintendo Switch, because because I was buying the system as well as Animal Crossing. But so there's like this $5 off coupon. So I went in and I got Paul Atreides from Dune. I just love him. I will pull him out of the box. But he's the, it doesn't say it, but it's the Kyle MacLachlan Dune. So that was the one I watched first, of course, because that was back in the day. And the reason really why I read Dune in the first place. And I did love Dune. Well, I like the first three books really well. After that, they're weird, but I love him. Anyway, so I have another Kyle MacLachlan inspired because I have the Twin Peaks Agent Dale Cooper, but I love. Anyway, I just wanted to show him off. He's so cute, and I got him for like $3. It was pretty awesome. Anyway, okay, so that was just off the track. I just wanted to share that. Anyway, so other than that, let's just talk about the books that I read this week. So the ones that I finished, the first one I finished was Heartstone by L. Catherine White. I read this as a retelling for Jane Austen July, put on by Katie at Books and Things and Marissa at Blatantly Bookish. I loved this. Oh my gosh, I was so surprised. I was hoping I was going to really enjoy it because it is a Pride and Prejudice retelling, pretty loosely, but it's still, their structure is still there. But it also had dragons, so I love the fantasy element. So I was excited to read this, and I've been wanting to read it, and it was on my 5-star prediction. And spoiler alert, this was a 5-star. I loved this. This was so much fun. I'm not going to say it was the best book ever, but it was so much fun, and I enjoyed it. Like, I enjoyed the ride. I enjoyed the characters. I like the differences almost more than the actual Pride and Prejudice retelling part of it. Like, to me, it was really how she changed it to make it her own. I really, really enjoyed it. The main character is someone I really like, Eliza. I love the way this went. And it was just so different. I did really enjoy this. So I read almost all of this on Sunday. That was pretty much what I did Sunday. Because I just started on Saturday, so I knew I liked it when I talked last week. I didn't know I was going to love it. I really, really enjoyed this. And so I'm glad that I finally made myself pick this up, even though I've had it on my shelf for over a year. And I'm glad I made it a 5-star prediction, because it was a 5-star prediction, which I still need to finish off. 2 more books to finish that project. But I got this one done in Jane Austen July, which is when I thought I would probably get to it. Anyway, needless to say, spoiler alert, I bought the next 2 books in the series. Anyway, so I really enjoyed that. So then Monday I decided to focus on What Matters in Jane Austen by John Mullen. So I did not finish this. I only got about 114 pages in. I read this on like Monday and Tuesday a lot. I think I started on Saturday, but I got, how many sections did I get through? I got through 7 of the 20 sections. And I just had to stop. You know, I was enjoying it, but my problem is that I read Emma and Mansfield Park over 20 years ago. I don't have all the details for it, and this was just going into so much detail on those two, which again makes sense. It's going through most of her writing, her I think he puts Lady Susan in a little bit, but mostly it's about the 6 main novels. Well, 4 of them I've read in the last 2 years, a couple times on some of them. And so they're very, very fresh. But Mansfield Park and Emma are very, very not. And it was kind of hard to read stuff where he's using them as examples and kind of, you know, not spoiling, because I knew them. Like Mansfield Park stuff I remember a little bit enough that I wasn't super spoiled. But there's a couple of times I'm like, oh, I didn't remember that at all. So I just decided that this year was not the year to read this. I really do need to actually make myself reread Emma and Mansfield Park. Emma, I'm scared on still. Anyway, so as I said, I got to 114. I put this back on my want to read list. I will save it for next July, and I will see if I can get to those books next year. It's just, I don't know. Well, I'll explain one thing in a minute, but Emma's not happening this year. So Emma might have to be next year's like first book I read just to get it done. So then I can read that. I don't know. Does that seem weird? Like, again, it's very critical of the stories and it's really well done. And I really enjoyed a lot of his thoughts on it. Like, I didn't agree with everything, but a lot of it was really good. But again, it was more just, those stories are just not as fresh in my mind. And I think I need to go back. And I might even re-listen to, or, you know, reread Northanger Abbey again, because I read that 2 years ago. And by next year, it'll be 3 years. So maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping. I think I'm just going to wait till next year. Anyway. So, I did get a library book in that was a hold from a while ago that I got. I think I put this in. Oh, it was before the pandemic, before the lockdown. So it's I Married My Best Friend to Shut Up My Parents by Kadama Nayiko. And this was translated by Amber Tamosatis, I think. This was just a cute one-off little manga about 2 young women. One of them, her parents are like pressuring her to get married. She's in the business world and she's trying to just make it along. She's, you know, not all doing all that, you know, she's doing really well, but you know, it's just, she's not married and stuff. So her parents are trying to and they're pushing her, and her friend from high school, she runs it back into her and says, hey, you know, I need a place to stay. We can pretend like we're married or something. And and again, she is, so it has, representation of oh my gosh, it just went out of my head, you know, LBTQR, whatever, the AI. Why that just went out of my head, how you do those initials, I'm sorry, but it has really good representation for that. I think it was just for a Japanese novel or manga. I thought it was really cute. It was just sweet, and it's just a one-off. I just got it from the library, so it's going right back, but it was just fun, and I did that one day. So then I finished, or I decided not to read the John Muller book. I was like, well, what do I want to read? And I kind of tried to read some other stuff. Again, I'll get to that in a second. It just didn't click. So what did I do? I reread Heartstone by L. Catherine White. So that was really fun. I reread. This is the second book this year that I've picked up right away after reading it and reread it. I used to do that as a kid I would say as a teenager, I did that all the time. Like, that was my MO. If I loved a book, I almost picked it up right away and reread it. I don't do that so much as an adult. I usually wait a little while because either it's a part of a series and so then I'll read the next books in the series, or I will just wait a month or two and then I'll reread it. So like, I want to reread another book right now, which I just haven't yet, but you know, that one was more normal. This is like, I picked it up right away. So that was fun. So I reread this part of this week. So that was fun because the books, the books that come after hadn't come yet. And then I picked up from the library on Friday. And my pickup when I got this, I got 2 books, and this is, or did I get 3 books? I got 3 books, sorry. But 2 books. Anyway, one of the books right now is Mr. Darcy's Diary by Amanda Grange. So I had heard about her series of diaries of all the Jane Austen heroes. So they just sounded like fluff. So I decided to get this to just try it to see if I wanted to put it on next year's Jane Austen July. I thought, well, I'll just get it from the library and I'll just read the first couple of pages and see if it's something I want to put for my next retelling, you know, because it's, again, off of Pride and Prejudice. But I was so addicted to it. It was so funny. This was fun. Like, it's not great, and it just made me laugh most of the time through it. I think she did a good job of trying to imagine maybe what Darcy was thinking, but it was funny in parts because you're like, ouch. Wow, did he really think that? And yeah, he probably did. Anyway, we don't know. Anyway, it was just funny. It was nice. What I did like about this is that it carries on a little bit past Pride and Prejudice, so you get kind of a little more of a wrap up. And I liked some of the little extras that she put into the end part. But overall, it was just a fun, like, easy read. I don't remember who I saw was reading this for Jane Austen July, or one, not this one, they were reading a different one. And I just decided to go with the one I was, well, Jane Austen one. It was the first one in the series. So I might pick up another one next year, and just for the fun of it. I don't know, but this was just fun. It was just, I would not, like, I did not give it, like, higher ratings or anything. It was just a fun ride, and I just enjoyed that. So let's talk about the books I'm in the middle of. So here is where my problem lies. So I did start Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. I started the audiobook by Frances Burney. Or is it Barnes? Oh, crap. I forgot what the audiobook is. I forgot to write it down. It's one of the Audible exclusives, I think. Anyway, I didn't get very far. Like, I got like 12 pages in. Oh my gosh, I found the receipt is still in here from when I bought this. It says I bought this copy in 96. Which makes sense because I read it in college and that was one of my college years. So, proof. This is from college. And yeah, all my editions are all very different. Yeah, because I bought them all in college. And anyway. Point is that I did like getting into this. It's just I think I'm Jane Austen out. Like, I just think I've read too much. Mr. Darcy's Diary was number 6 of the books that I finished for Jane Austen July. I just think I'm done. Which I'll come, and again, I've already put aside one book that I was hoping to finish, and then another one I think I'm going to. But Mansfield Park, I do want to listen to this again for the first time. I read it back in college, so I've really only read this once. So I'm going to listen to it on audio though, because the audiobook is good. It's just, I'm just tired of this, and I'm it's not its fault. It's me. I'm done with I've done a lot of Jane Austen inspired stuff and Jane Austen novels. I read 2 of her novels, Pride and Prejudice and Persuasion this month already. I really just need a break. So I'm going to keep it as a reserve in my audiobooks that I might get to some other time of the year. If not, then again, like I said, Emma and Mansfield Park are both going to be listened to next July. So I'm hoping, and maybe even Northanger Abbey, we'll see. But I think Mansfield Park I'll pick up at a different time. I'll just be in a better mood for it, ready for it, and then dive into it. So I'm going to, as I said, it'll be in the reserve of an audiobook if I feel like it. Because I only got 12 pages in, and I just feel I'm too much Jane Austen right now. So I'll get back to that if that makes any sense. So, and then the book I'm currently reading is my other library book, is The House on Widow's Hill by Simon R. Green. This is the new one in his Ishmael Jones series. This is book number 9, I believe. I think we're 9. As I said, I have most of them, but it takes a long time for them to come out in paperback, and I don't buy the hardbacks because they're like $27 to $30, and I'm like, no. No, I'll wait for paperback. Anyway, so this is number 9. Again, it's how do I want to say this? It's like British country manor mysteries with a supernatural twist. That's how I want to say that. So this is a haunted house outside of Bath on Widow's Hill, and nobody can say why. How I can't even say that. Harrow, Harrow house is haunted. They can't say why. So Ishmael goes in, and he is supernatural himself, so he doesn't believe in ghosts. So I'm gonna see how this goes. Him and his pal Penny are on the case, and so I'm really interested to see how this one goes. Again, they're really short and really fast, and again, I always get them from the library when they first come out, because Simon R. Green is one of my favorite urban fantasy writers, and I pick up especially all his shorter works. For some reason, his longer novels don't do a whole lot for me, but everything that's short, I love. Anyway, so that I'm going to read today, hopefully. I might finish it today. We'll see how it goes. So then let's talk really quick about what I think I'm going to read this week. Let's just be honest. I got the next two books in the Dragonstone, I don't even know what she calls the, Heartstone trilogy. So there's Dragon Shadow, which is book number 2, and Flamebringer, which is book number 3. I think it's just a trilogy. I don't know. I'll have to look more into it. But I know these two came out in the last couple of years, and I am just looking forward to returning because I read Heartstone twice this week. So I will probably pick up at least the second one right away. We'll see how I feel after that. It might be too much, and then I have to hold off for a little bit before I read the third one. But I'm at least going to try to get to Dragon Shadow, because again, it's continuing on. I mean, the top says Pride, Prejudice, Monsters. No one said marriage to a dragon rider would be easy. Maybe that's a spoiler. I don't care. Doesn't matter if you know Pride and Prejudice, you know. Anyway, point is, I'm looking forward to those. So I'm at least going to read one of them, probably this week after the Simon R. Green. So then the two library books that I think is going back that I have to say I give up right now, and then I will get them either when they come out in paperback or wait till maybe next year when I'm just ready for them. The first one is The Mirror and the Light by Hilary Mantel. I know I'm going to love this. I already love it, but I just cannot focus on this. And I think it really has to do with the whole pandemic thing and just, I want to dive into this, but every time I do, I can only read a few pages and then I can't read anymore. And it's not the writing and it's not the story. I know what's coming in a vague sort of way because I didn't study it that much, but I'm also concerned because Thomas Cromwell is one of my favorite characters that I've come across this year from Wolf Hall and Bring Up the Bodies, the first two books in this trilogy. So I really want to read this, but I really think I need to give it back to the library. I have had it for 4 months. I'm just not going to push through and read the last 500 pages right now. As I said, I got about 270 into this. I want to read this, but I think I'm just going to wait for paperback and just buy the paperback when it comes out, and then I will attempt to read it again and just focus on it by itself, not when any other readathons or anything else is going on for me, and just give it my all. But right now, it's just not doing it for me. I think I've just come to the point where it needs to go back to the library so somebody else can have their chance at it. And I've had it for months, and it's not happening. The other one I'm not sure about is The Other Bennet Sister, which is by Janice Hadlow. This again is a retelling of Pride and Prejudice, but focusing on Mary Bennet, the middle sister. So I read a little bit of the beginning last week, and I really enjoyed the first 30-some pages. And then I read another 20, and then I was not quite so sure anymore. So my problem with this is I think, again, I've read too many Jane Austen stuff recently. I think my brain, and a lot of them were Pride and Prejudice stuff related, so I might need to wait till next year to read this as well. The writing was great. The chapters were short, so it made it fast. My problem with this is that this is going to sound bad, so if you like this, I apologize, but to me, it was starting to feel like torture porn of Mary Bennet, like just torturing her in every instance you possibly can by her family and other people in her neighborhood. And I just felt really bad for her, and it was only the beginning, and I was afraid of how this was going to go because we hadn't even got to the part where Pride and Prejudice starts. So it was really the preamble to that, and the prologue to that kind of thing, and Mary, and I felt really bad for Mary, which I think you're supposed to, but it also hurt too much in some way. So I think it's really just I think it was just my mood was starting to turn, and I was getting away from wanting to read this. So I think I'm going to wait until next year to read this one as well, give it one more shot then. I think it just has to go back to the library for me. I just think this is not the time for me for this. So I don't know if you guys have read this and what you thought, and maybe I just need to push forward and do a little bit more, but I think this is not the time for me. So I am going to give this back to the library. So that is it. That was my reading week. It was weird, but also really good in some ways. And I even reread a book right after I read it. And I didn't, as I said, I didn't finish a huge amount, but I did get some good page counts on stuff. So, and again, I'm hoping this week to hit a few more with the fantasy and then urban fantasy stuff, and then I have a very ambitious August TBR, which is stupid if my reading is so fluctuating, but I'm still gonna do it. I have all these ideas, so I guess you'll see that later in the week. Other than that, I think that is it. Anyway, so what are you guys reading? Anything good? Have you having anybody else deciding when you're in the middle of a really long book that it's just not the time for it? I feel bad that I got that far into The Mirror and the Light and I just can't do it. I'm just gonna put it off. I can do it. It's no fine. I'll get back to it. I know I will. I'll finish it at some point. It's just not the time for me, and I've given it as much as I can. So anyway, I'm going to go and read The House on Widows Hill. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.